All right, welcome to the show, Mastermind family. I am your host, JoJo, and we have a very special guest today. And before we get the show started, we got to do the sound off call for the day. Mastermind family in the building. And so today, we're just trying to provide some motivation to upcoming artists, new artists, and just allow them to be inspired by artists who are doing their thing and just killing it. So our special guest for the day is SunogDragon. Is that right? Yeah.
Right.
And SunogDragon, just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Hey guys, my name's SunogDragon. Usually before I would start, I'm usually the kind of guy that likes to draw a lot in school and make some comics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually trying to plan on making stories. Like I always have like multiple stories in my head, but it's kind of hard to write it on paper or anything like that.
Right. And I guess how did you get your journey started though? Like tell the people how you got your journey started and from where you started to where you're at now.
My journey kind of started when I first started watching anime. Anime kind of actually inspired me to make my own stories and draw them on paper, give other people some chance to inspire on making their own stories.
So you already know the next question is, what is your favorite anime and your manga?
I'm gonna have to say Dragon Ball, like any of the series of Dragon Ball.
Okay. So it doesn't matter whether it was Dragon Ball from when Goku was little to Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball Super, all of them,
Well,
right?
I'm gonna have to say if one of them, I would choose Dragon Ball Z.
Okay. Why is that?
I just like how they made the art, because everything they made, all them art and animation with it, I'm just like, oh my god, that's impressive right there.
Yeah, and I can tell, that just based off of some of your Instagram posts that you have a hint of inspiration or influence from like Dragon Ball, and I think that's really cool. Just the stuff that you're making. So,
Thank you. Yeah, I got most of my ideas from Dragon Ball for the anatomy and how the posing should be.
mm-hmm. That's awesome. That is super cool. So, okay, what kept you motivated to finish what you started? And I know it's an ongoing journey, but what keeps you motivated? What keeps you motivated?
Before I start actually doing all these social media stuff, it was actually my family that kept me motivated because they like how inspirational my art is to them.
Mm.
And then after I started YouTube and all these social medias, I wanted to impress so many people, and the fact that they motivate me is what keeps me going.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, and I couldn't agree more because it's just like having that family based support, especially when you go on this journey, is so critical because not everybody is like how can I say as receptive at the beginning, but
Yeah,
that's why having that base support kind of helps people keep going on the journey. Then as soon as other people start seeing your work, then it just like adds fuel to the fire. You just like, yes, I gotta keep going, right?
yeah,
So that's really
yeah.
awesome.
Add on that fuel right there.
Yeah, I'm serious, man. Like if I don't know if I didn't have family to like be the first thing to be like, oh, you created what? And they bought the manga, they bought the shirts. I mean, they were just there to support and just like tell people about it, and that stuff is really helpful. So um, another question, man. Tell us what we can expect coming up from you, or what's in the future pipeline. Like, what are some of the future projects that are coming out that we can look out for?
Hopefully, I'm hoping y'all expect that. Well, I'm usually expecting that I can sell commissions, like I can start my own commission stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully I can get some smooth animation going on. Right now, as you saw from stories in my Instagram, I'm posting like this short intro,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying my real best. I'm trying my hardest on the run animation because clearly everyone's having difficult time on that one.
Right, right. And I saw that. I saw that. You know, a couple of your feeds from the intro animations as far as like what you've started. I think it's really cool, dude. Um, so, how long did it take you to craft that? Like, if you don't mind me asking.
um, Usually I always imagine how the position should be. I don't write like the little sketch version, like how people write it on sticky notes.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of don't do that. I should, but I don't. I just kind of planned it in my head, and then I'm just like, oh, I should do that.
Oh, okay, okay. So, like, are there any like tips and tricks that say like a future animator that would need to know, that may find it helpful to them?
Um, for starters, you can try using a stick figure to work on the anatomy. Then once you're done with like smoothing out that stick figure, you can draw the actual body as you're going on with all the frames.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I follow. I follow. I always got to start small and then understand the foundation because the foundation is like just like you said. If you get that down right, then you can expand from there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes in these animations, you're gonna have to make a little blur effect. Like you know how the art is kind of exaggerated in the middle of the frames.
Right.
It's for movement kind of thing.
Oh.
So if you add that in, it would make the animation a lot smoother.
Mm-hmm.
But I prefer using the exaggeration a bit because if you use it too much, it might mess up the animation flow a bit. So
Okay.
gotta be careful with it.
Okay. Yeah, I follow. I follow. 10-4. 10-4. So what are some like words of wisdom you would impart on a new artist that's like going on this journey, like of whether it be animation, art, commissions or whatever, like what words of wisdom would you impart on them?
That's a tricky. I'd say determination.
Mindset and determination. Like, could you expand upon that?
Because you're gonna work really hard in thinking ahead on what you're gonna plan for all these animations and movements,
Mm-hmm.
and you're always trying to think of the scene on what you want the people to really want to see.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you want to kind of give the audience a bit of inspiration or that kind of feeling that you're watching something really good here.
Okay. Okay.
Putting all your hard work and determination into this one animation.
I mean, like, roughly, like, how long does it take for you to, like, put something that's like 10 seconds long?
10 seconds? For depending on how long the 10 seconds is,
Mm-hmm.
it can take me about a full day just to sketch and then maybe another day to outline the whole thing. So maybe 2 days in total.
That's not bad. That's actually pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm serious. Like that's pretty good. Because I know animation in itself takes quite a bit of time.
Really does.
Yeah. So, okay. So, what is something you wished someone had told you before you got started, dude? Like doing manga or animation. What is something that you wish somebody had told you?
I wish they told me about the anatomy, because back then I had a struggle with the anatomy.
Okay. Okay.
Some easy ways, because before I would usually straight away draw the body. I wouldn't draw anything easy to make it a lot smoother or easier on me to draw.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. That's basically the critical piece, man, is the anatomy.
Yeah.
So, okay. And then another thing to help other artists. How did you grow your fan base? And what are you doing to grow your fan base?
I'm trying to remember back then. I think before I would usually visit other live streamers that would do any drawing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I would visit any live streams that have like these kind of artists, and then I would kind of do a little chat with them.
Okay.
And then sometimes I would give them my social media, like Twitter or Instagram, and show them what my art is. And then they'll kind of help me out on how I can improve all of my work.
That's awesome. So did you have like a, I don't know, like a personal mentor or anything like that, or?
Oh, back then, no, not really. Usually my dad used to show me how to draw a bit, and then I kind of taught myself afterwards.
Oh, okay, that's impressive, dude. Self-taught, nice. Okay, so last thing, man. What do you think the future of anime manga is heading towards?
Hmm. I think it's going through a great change if you compared it from back then to now, because all the animation's been improving over the years.
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially like the mixture of 2D and 3D. I think that's a pretty nice effect that I've been seeing. You know, just in different, animation series for like, say like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Berserk. There's a couple other animations that are doing that 3D 2D mix. And I think it's pretty cool.
And I think it gives the 2D animators, like all the time drawing, would give them kind of a break, since you'll give like those 3D animators and 2D animators some time to work.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely, absolutely, man. So, okay, Sundragon, like I said, man, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to our family, man, and just about your perspective on your journey and just providing us motivation, to help us keep going. And so, where can the people find more of your work at? Like, tell us where we can find you at.
I'm usually active on Instagram and YouTube. Sometimes I'm on Twitter and DeviantArt.
Okay, so like tell us what the name is so that the people know where they can find you.
My Instagram is SunDragonart, and my Twitter should be SunDragon.
Okay.
Dragon. I'm sorry, SunogDragon.
No problem, man. And what else?
DeviantArt is my same name with Instagram, SunDragonart.
Okay.
And that should be it.
Cool, dude.
Then,
cool. Yeah, man. Like I said, we definitely do appreciate you taking the time, man. We know you're a busy guy, man, and we won't take too much of your time, dude.